Hi, is anybody there? Oh, it's hot already. I put this lace top on so I wouldn't be indecently exposed. Oh, I want to take it off. Hi. I have some things I need to talk to you guys about. Information that's come down. I'll wait a couple seconds. Hi, Corey. I'm going to wait a few seconds to make sure I get as many people online as I can. Hi. I'm just going to give it a couple seconds before I start because I have some things I need to talk about. Song playing in the background. Wish I knew you when I was young. Talking about missed opportunities. What I'm finding out right now is that the missed opportunities are the fault of the people themselves. Nobody else. Hi. Okay, so I want to see if there's more people. I wish I could tell how many people are on. I can see who talks to me, but I can't see how many people. Actually, maybe I can. There's Felicia, there's Corey. So only 2 people right now. I have to wait a couple seconds. You know what? I'll just start. And people can go back and listen to it themselves. So, we have been getting messages. Last night's message to Dream On was talking about a twist in the tale. Hi. A twist in the tale that we weren't expecting. And what's funny is when I look back, there was no reason for me not to be expecting my twist in the tale because I'd already been shown it. And you probably have too. Spirit gives us time after time after time. They give us chance after chance to get our lesson. And if we're lucky enough, and if something is actually truly meant to be, they'll keep giving us the lesson until we get it straight. Now we're going to get the lesson until we learn the lesson, but we may lose the prize that we are after if we don't catch on quick enough. So how I know, how do I wrap all this together? Well, we had the message to Dream On last night, and then this morning I posted 2 videos from a year ago, readings, and I said to you guys, if you need to take the time and listen. You need to go back and re-listen to them because Spirit will give us the exact same message again, the exact same time a year later. We are constantly being given a do-over, an opportunity to do over. Right now, we're in that space. We get Mercury retrograde 4 times a year, but we're given the opportunity to learn a lesson again and again. But if you may have noticed it yourself. If you look in your memory feeds, the things that come up a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it's the same things that are happening right now. If you haven't mastered them, it's either to show you how far you've come, to show you what needs to be finished, to revisit something, wrap it up, and say, okay, see you later. I'm done with this, or the chance to do what you didn't do. So. Yesterday I went to get my prescription glasses checked because they're not right in my, there's something that's not right. Now, if something's not right, don't just go with it. If something doesn't feel right, go fix it. So I went back there right away and I said, you know, for some reason I'm comfortable with these sunglasses, but with the reading glasses that I got, they make me feel like I'm going blind. The prescription is way too strong. And the woman, and they said, oh, it's just because the lenses are darker, and because the lenses are darker, it's softer on your eyes, and so it's easier for you to see. So I believed them. And so I went away for months using the same glasses that were causing my eyes, they hurt, and I didn't use them. I ended up using my cheater glasses or wore my sunglasses in the daylight, or like I am right now. I don't need to be wearing these right now. It's not that bright. Actually, yeah, it is. But often I'll end up wearing these inside, or I'll wear them when it's even darker, because the ones that I got are not, the prescription is too strong. They're incorrect. So I went back yesterday and I said, look, you know what? I'm using my cheaters, which are really bad for my eyes, or I'm wearing my sunglasses inside because these prescriptions are not right. And so she looks at them and she's arguing with me. And I said, I don't care what you think. I'm telling you, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't work with my eyes. So they told me that the doctor prescribed my reading glasses at 3 3. My cheaters are 125 or 150. And I said, why would you do that? And they said, well, because when you have and whatever the reason was, I said, they're far too strong. I said, they literally make me feel like I'm going blind. Now think about the symbolic messages in what I'm saying. You may have to go back and listen to this afterwards, because I hear more of my own messages after than when I'm actually speaking them now. And isn't that interesting? I took my lapis out. So my lapis didn't hear. So this is me. This is my intuitive self. My lapis, which is talking about communication, did not understand or was not being heard properly. So I stood there with a woman for like 15 minutes arguing with her, and finally said, look, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm telling you that I don't want to drive around in the daylight or at nighttime wearing my sunglasses because they're comfortable on my eyes. Sunglasses keep you, right? They hide your eyes. They're keeping you hidden. That's a message. I don't want to go around with my hiding behind something because I'm not comfortable, because I'm not seeing something correctly. Okay, so I made an appointment. I'm going tomorrow, and I'm getting the doctor to recheck my eyes, and I'm going to tell him straight up, I don't care what you think my prescription should be. I want you to make them a little weaker because they don't work for me. I know what feels good for my eyes, and these aren't working. So I know that they thought I was difficult, and it's often hysterical because we had that message about the teacher who was going to come to us as a stern teacher, and they weren't going to be all soft and bubbly, right? They were going to be a stern teacher because you weren't fucking listening. Straight up, you're not listening. So sometimes you're not supposed to be sweet and gentle. And I'm told a lot, you got to watch the way you speak, Sherry. You can turn people off by the way you speak. Okay. But if you're not listening to sweet and soft and gentle, then maybe you're going to listen when somebody gives you a smack. I get smacked by spirit all the time. I got smacked last night. I got smacked this morning. And a smack isn't aggression. A smack is wake up. You're not listening to what we're trying to tell you. You aren't listening. And it isn't all about being sweet and light. I don't give fluffy messages. I don't tell you things that you want to hear. And sometimes I lose clients because I'll tell them straight up how it is. I told you I had a client that was very jealous, very insecure. That was her issue. She had issues of insecurity. She projected a lot. Things didn't go the way she wanted. She got really pissed off. She assumed something, and she was going to do something really aggressive. She was going to send a picture of this man that she was supposedly in love with to someone else to make them jealous so that she could get and I said, why would you do that? And she said, because this is what he does. And I said, you don't know anything for sure. You're aggressive, you're toxic, and I don't want to work with you. I can't work with you anymore. And I told her I couldn't work with her. She didn't hear what I had to say. I kept saying, I can't work with you. You're toxic. And I thought maybe I should block her. And I really wanted to. But I didn't for some reason, because I understand now why. Because it was showing somebody in my life to me. And it was showing me in the past as well. This is a lot about assumptions and also about interfering third parties. So that's, I just got a confirmation of that because Lily just got up out of her chair and she wants to go in because it's getting too hot. All right. I get it. It is too hot for you. You should be out here and listening now. So this woman, like about 2 months go by, or I don't know how long, it's been maybe a month and a half, and she calls me on my site and asks for a reading again. And now she's wanting to know about love. And the cards that were coming up were telling her, the messages that I was getting in the songs and the radio, everything I was getting. First of all, I was trying to keep my cool because I thought, shoot, man, I don't want to deal with you. You're toxic. You don't listen to me. You call me for advice, and it's not my advice. I'm giving you advice from spirit. And if you don't listen, you don't want to hear what I have to say, why are you calling me? So I was trying to keep myself calm, right? Because I know how my voice sounds. I know how you can tell when I'm not pleased. You can tell when I'm annoyed, and I have to work on that constantly, and I do. So I was quiet, kind of calm, and she said she wanted to know about her love life. Well, it all came out, and it told her what she was supposed to do. And she said, I don't want to know about that. I want to know about my love. And I said, look, you're not listening to me. I told you before I couldn't work with you because you don't listen. You aren't getting what you want because you don't listen. You're asking, she says, well, I want to know. And I said, it doesn't matter what you want to know. You're calling for advice, and Spirit is telling you, for you to get what it is that you want in your life, this is what you need to do. It doesn't just come to you because you want it just like that, and you demand it. Like you're Veruca Salt in Willy Wonka, I want it now, and it makes me think of myself. I want it now. I know what I want now. But things aren't ready. People aren't ready. Circumstances aren't ready. I needed to see things too. I needed lessons too. All of these messages that I give to you guys are messages that I'm hearing for myself. Don't ever think that when I say wake the fuck up, I'm not talking to myself, because I clearly say it to myself first. Clearly I was motivated enough that I needed to come out and speak about this, even though I posted 2 videos and I posted 2 articles this morning asking for you guys to go and look at this, because I know that it's easier for you just to sit here and watch. I was watching my grandson yesterday. My daughter came over with her friend and her little kids, and they were in the water. And my grandson was constantly at his mom's side, tied up to my canoe she was using. And she's like, "Get off of me, you're weighing me down," and things are blowing away. And he wouldn't do it. And so finally she cut him loose, and he was like drifting. This is a huge message, because I know who they represent. And I said, "Trey, what are you going to do now?" And he goes, "Nothing." And I said, "You're not going to do anything, are you? You're not going to sweat it?" Because he knew his mom was going to come back and pick him up. Well, she didn't. She didn't come back and pick him up. She knew he had the ability to come to her. I keep saying, I had somebody call me this morning. I'm going to tie all this in. Call me this morning and ask me questions about their life. And then they said something to me about, do you know who your twin soul is? And I said, yes. Does he know? Yes. Is that your husband? And I said, no. And she goes, well, you have a twin soul that's not your husband? And I said, I'm not married. And she said, but I thought I saw a picture of you with your husband. And I said, I don't have a husband. I haven't been married in 11 years. And I've been divorced almost 11 years. And she says, you haven't had and I said, no. I haven't been with anyone except for my twin soul in the last 3 years. And before that I was, no, I haven't been in a relationship. I'm very loyal. And so she saw something and she misunderstood it. As I was watching my grandson floating around, I said to him, why aren't you going to go over, let your mom loose? And he said, no. He says he knew what he was doing. He was going to tie up to her because he didn't want to do the work. He said, why should I kick around out here when I can just hold on to her and have her drag me? Wow, loud message to me. Loud message to me. So this twin person said to me this morning, if you know who your twin is, does he know who you are? And I said, yeah, he knows. We've been together. He told me. And she said, well, why aren't you together? And I said, lessons. And I said, he needs to come to me. And she said, well, let's not make it the conditions here. One must do this, one must do that. And I said, well, if he told me, I don't know where he is. And if he told me where he was, I would probably go. But I won't. He needs to come to me. Because I am not going to make it easy for him he knows how to swim. He's got his own emotional waters that he needs to swim through. He's got his own lessons. And if this is where he values where he needs to be, then he needs to come to me. Because I've made it very clear to all of you and to the entire world where my heart is. My heart is open to my twin first. But if he doesn't recognize what he's got in front of him, he may lose it. Whether he's my twin soul or not, it makes no difference. If you don't take advantage of the opportunity that's in front of you, everyone's life moves forward. So the messages that we were getting last year said there was this shy, gentle, very loving, down-to-earth one that was going to come forward and offer them a gift. And it may not be a gift of a diamond ring. It may not be wealth. It may be something that you may not see as incredibly valuable, but it was very valuable, even though it may have looked insignificant. And I thought to myself, why didn't it happen? It was there. Why didn't it happen? It was right there. What did I do to shift the circumstances? What did that person do to alter the circumstances? What did someone else in that person's life do to alter the circumstances? Because we all have free will. Yes, that perfect job is right there for you. Yes, that perfect soulmate is right there for you. But it's not going to come flying up to your face without you doing something. There is something required. We are co-creators with the divine. I posted an article this morning about, and it was an owl. It was colored in. Well, yesterday when I was at the eye doctor, as I went to walk out, they have a mascot, and it's an owl. Well, the owl is the seer. I am a seer. My twin is also a seer. He's incredibly gifted. But this is what they show. This owl needed some glasses. Now, just because I'm gifted and I see things in advance, and just because my twin sees things in advance, doesn't mean we didn't need to adjust our vision. That was my first clue when I went there to get Spirit's been giving me this since I got these glasses. How many months has it been since I've got these glasses? When I realized I needed to have my vision checked. And when I needed to have my vision checked, it wasn't just this vision, it was my spiritual vision. What was I not seeing? And the message is, when the owl talks about seeing past the illusion, seeing through the illusion, seeing through lies, deception, deceit, half lies, half truths. 2 years ago, Actually, maybe it's been a year and a half. I'm not quite certain the time frame. Time just keeps moving quickly. I was told a lie. And I was shown by Spirit, the lie before it was being told. And I was being shown that it wasn't the truth, what I was going to be told. And I was to relax, and that the person that my heart was attached to was innocent of what was about to be told to me. And yet when it was told to me, it gave me a black eye. It hurt me really bad. And it took my breath away, and it took me a little bit. I reacted, and I wrote, not back to that place where I was told this, but to his personal site. The first lie I was told by somebody else. The second lie I believe I was told by him. I may have been told a lie by him the first time. All I know is there was a third party that was involved that confused the issue. I'm telling this personal message because you have to relate it to yourself in different ways. I saw a picture yesterday, popped up on Facebook, and I wrote to a girlfriend of mine that knows we're all friends, and I said, wow, and I asked about the picture, and she said, it's an old picture. And I said, really? It didn't come up like it was an old picture. And I didn't say that, but I said, in my mind, I thought it didn't come up like a memory. It just was shown, like it just happened. And she said, no, it's quite old. It's not recent. And I thought, and that's what made me start thinking. If I hadn't asked, and if I hadn't had confirmation of that, I may have innocently assumed, that had taken place at that time. But it hadn't taken place at that time. So, have you assumed something? Has something maybe popped up? Have you seen something, even with your own eyes? Like a lot of times we'll say, well, somebody told me this, and so blah, blah, blah. But no, I saw it with my own eyes. I know that people watch my page. My page is very visible. I know my twin watches my page. We have memory feeds that pop up all the time. Memories of times that we were with other friends from the past. I have memory feeds that have popped up with my ex-husband and myself. My ex-husband's married now, has been married happily for 3 years and been together for 5 years to his soulmate, best friend, who is my best friend here in California. But our memory picture popped up from Facebook. I didn't send it up. Memories of other people in my life have popped up with me as well. Doesn't mean I was with them. I haven't been with anyone, but the person in my life didn't bother to ask that. They just assumed what they saw or what they were told. And so, have you lashed out? Have you reacted? I've had that history happen before where something was assumed and hurt feelings happened. And so, because of that, a lie was told. And spirits told me this for a year. They kept giving me the song Rumor Has It. Have you paid attention to the lyrics of the song Rumor Has It? Rumor has it, if you go in and you look at, and basically when you listen to the song, it talks about, rumor has it, there's a guy that was with a girl, and a young girl comes along and takes his attention, and he goes off and cheats on the woman he was with first, and he leaves her. And now the girl that was left finds out that, oh, he's been talking to people that he misses her, and he doesn't want this younger one that he ran off with. And he's been saying things to other people, talking about, I guess they snuck out behind the other person's back. And blah, 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 blah. Rumor has it, rumor has it, rumor has it. And then at the end it says, just because you heard it doesn't mean that I said it. Just because I said it doesn't mean that it's true. Rumor has it that you're leaving her for me, but rumor has it that I'm leaving you for him. So it's all about rumors and misunderstandings. I looked into it deeper because it's not enough to look into things on the surface. You've got to look deeper. The owl says, look past the illusion. Look into it. What's going on that you're not seeing? Spirit kept saying, things are not as they appear. There's been a misunderstanding. There has been confusion. There has been something that needs to be straightened out. One person is too stubborn and doesn't want to do that, or hurt feelings, or whatever the past issues are that cause fear or doubt or insecurity or whatever it is. Betrayal from other people. Who knows what it is? So I looked into it, and the lyrics actually mean something different. The rumors were started by the girl herself. So the story that I was given were started by the person himself. May have been in a way to keep somebody else off his back. So I said, oh, I'm with somebody else, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that, or whatever, just to keep his private life private, not wanting anybody to know. That person then took it on as fact. And then when I was contacting my twin, I got the message, he's in a relationship with someone else. Well, I knew that wasn't true. But then something else happened, and there was a misunderstanding that took place. And then I got another email And I believe that the things that I was already shown the things that I was told were not true, but I still felt like I was punched in the eye. There was a third party. Spirit has shown me there is a third party that was involved. Now, was the third party, okay, so I was just going to say, was the third party innocent, or was the third party maliciously doing something? Well, just as I said that a dove flew, and now the dove is cooing. Do you hear him? The third party was innocent. The third party was simply repeating what they had been told. The first person sent out false information as a buffer, or a way to kind of keep privacy, or keep a distance. The third party misunderstood it, spoke it as fact, sent something spiraling, and the whole story changed. So the messages for you are, never assume. If you are getting messages, pay attention to the messages that Spirit is telling you. If Spirit is saying to you, there's something that's not right, look into it. Look past the illusion. If Spirit is telling the seer to get her eyes checked, and then yesterday shows me again, and when I went to get my eyes checked, and I got the prescription glasses, and they were not correct, do I just live with it? Do I just live with something that doesn't feel right? It doesn't feel right. Something's not right. The doctor says it's right. Pay attention to who you listen to. The message that I posted this morning, it's a video. It's a weekly reading from last year at the exact same time. I show, and there's a picture right before that, and I show an owl, and it's colored in, okay? The owl is the hermit. The owl has pulled himself away. The owl is my twin. The owl's walking through the forest, and there's a hand that's coming down from Spirit. There's a hand that's coming from this way, and there's a hand that's coming from this way. Who's telling you things? Pay attention to who you listen to. Who's telling you the truth? Is it your own higher self that is talking garbage to you? Your higher self can get mixed up with your ego mind, can't it? Your higher self is here, but your ego mind is in between, maybe getting in the way of your higher self. So who is guiding you? Who's listening to you? Spirit gives us message after message, and we're constantly being shared. I'm sharing messages. Many other of my spiritual friends share messages. You guys share spiritual messages. We get messages from our animal totems. Look how my dove came to tell me, yes, Sherry, yes, what you were thinking was correct. The third party was innocent. They didn't do anything to hurt you. They didn't do anything to hurt him. They were simply repeating what they were told by him. It's on him, you know, to straighten this out. It's not on them to straighten it out. It's on him. It's very clear where I stand. I've been misunderstood. I mean, I have misunderstood because of what I was told. And yet I really haven't, because I never believed it to begin with. I knew it was a lie. I just thought that there was someone else that was hurting us. They didn't mean to do anything. They were innocent. Just like me with my friend. I saw that picture yesterday. I was just an innocent third party. I just looked at it. And I asked, wow, what's with this picture? Because it showed somebody with somebody other than their wife. And I thought, geez, that's not cool. And it was an old picture. And so it's, don't ever believe, don't ever gossip. Don't ever spread something that you don't know for fact. Be very careful when you listen to gossip. Pay attention to who is speaking to you. Pay attention to yourself. First of all, when you get a message, it isn't for Sherry, it isn't for Stacy, it isn't for Kimberly, it isn't for Jake, it isn't for Elise, it isn't for Erica, it's for you. The message comes to you first. How does it apply in my life? Everything that I share with you, I apply to my life. That's why I use my life as a message. And so when I say, this is also all about, it's about accepting responsibility for their own actions, your own actions. I know that actions of my own may have pushed my twin back. Actions, my energy may have been too intense. Or maybe we weren't just ready. All I know is things don't happen when it's not time. So when people get frustrated, oh, well, this is what we were told last year and it didn't happen. And it still hasn't happened. Well, what lesson have you not learned? What have you continued to do that you shouldn't do? What is it that you're not following? There goes the dove. So the dove's on the move right now. The dove talks about harmony, peacefulness, taking a breath, but it also talks about prophecy. talks about vision, talks about soulmate relationships. So this person said to me this morning, well, if this is your twin and he knows you are and you know you, why aren't you together? And I said lessons, fear, doubt, all of those things have come into play. So Spirit says this twist in your tail is showing you that no, things didn't happen the way that you really wanted them to. Veruca salt, you really wanted them back then. Think about salt. When you salt something, you do it to season, to taste, right? A little bit of salt makes something taste really good. Too much salt destroys it. It ruins it. If you put salt on a slug, it'll kill it. Salt, my daughter and my grandson, when we were at the beach this weekend, it was fun. It was so much fun, but we were tousled in those emotional waters, and my grandson was crying, and he said, this water is burning my eyes. There was too much salt. So now we're in the lake water yesterday, and my daughter said, the water's so warm. It's so warm. It's not comfortable. And I said, yeah, but at least it feels good on your skin, doesn't it? It feels great. Lake water feels great. And she goes, yeah, it's almost like there's a coating. And I said, yeah, and traces, and it doesn't burn your eyes. So too much salt is harmful. A little bit of salt is good. So maybe the information that I was giving was too overwhelming. I know it was. I was given prophetic visions and dreams, and I was sharing them, and they were overwhelming. It wasn't my place to share them, and because I didn't know the ramifications of how they would affect him. I didn't understand. I thought I was helping. I didn't know what I was doing. It was damaging. And right then, Lily just cries, and she wants to come out. Hold on. So my salt that I was trying to help, come on, baby, and that was seasoning things with, ended up being very, very painful. And so my own actions may have caused him to react to me, to say something that he didn't mean because he was hurt or that he was angry or he was upset or who knows what it was. All I know is I'm not innocent. I'm not innocent. We all have a part to play. He has his part to play. I have a part to play. The third party definitely has a part to play. All I know is there's a clearing that needs to take place, right? I keep clearing my throat. There's a reason. Sorry, that was my daughter that just called, and that's a message too. I know who she represents. Yes. Someone needs to contact somebody. And I will say that I can't do any more than I've already done. And so it is up to my twin to come forward if he does. And if he doesn't, we move all forward. We all move forward. That's the twist in the tail that I wasn't expecting. Because if he doesn't choose to do this, I will not sit here. I will move forward with my life. It's insanity. The same thing again and again, expecting a different result is insanity. You don't float in the water and expect somebody to come pick you up. You know how to swim. You know how to use your feet and your arms, and you know how to use your oars. If somebody cuts you loose and you're off to drift, then you're cut loose. I got cut loose. I'm drifting. And I've swum back to where I wanted to be, and I've made it very, very known. I made it clear. I stayed here treading water for the last 2 years, and I won't tread water anymore. So we all have free will. We all have free will. I'm not pushing myself on anyone. I certainly don't wish to be anywhere that someone doesn't want me to be. I know my self-worth. This is all about my self-worth. It's all about his self-worth. It's all about your self-worth. It's all about choices. We all get personal choices, and it's not something that you take, as the song, right? It's something that's given. Love is given. Friendship is given. You don't take it. You don't demand it. You are drawn to who you are drawn to because you're on a vibrational match. When we came together, we were a vibrational match. Like, we were in sync. Clearly, we went out of sync. Clearly, we were drifting. Lessons to learn. Who knows? Maybe we've learned our lesson, and maybe we're supposed to just move on. I don't know. I saw a lot of things in my dreams last night. A lot of things were revealed to me. I had somebody that kept showing up in my dreams, and it wasn't my twin. And I kept saying, why does that person keep showing up in my dreams? Why are you there? Why are you there? But they are there. So it's showing me that there is an option outside of my twin. And like I said, circumstances, I'm a co-creator with the divine. Spirit brings to us opportunities. And Spirit's been telling us for quite a while, there's an opportunity that's in front of you. This is now the time. We've got the osprey that spoke up. We've got how many different animal messengers that have said, now's the time to dive in. Now, this opportunity won't last. This opportunity won't be sticking around for long. So it's time. And we've been telling you this for the last 2 years, and you haven't done it. And so here it is again. You've been given the opportunity. If you want this, you need to move on this. Don't expect to be having somebody come pick you up. Don't expect your mommy to come pick you up in the water. Trey, you know how to swim, right? She didn't go pick him up. He had to swim over to her. He could have made it easier on himself, and kind of tread along and held on and gone with her, but he didn't want to do any work. He wanted it all done for him. He wanted it all come to him. You know that song by Gwen Stefani? It talks about maybe if you hadn't shut the refrigerator door, if you had shut the refrigerator door, so you left it open and the milk soured, if I could escape and make a brand new life, and it talks about, you know, maybe I've been sitting around waiting for you to come save me. That's a fact. Don't sit around waiting for somebody to do all the work. Both in a relationship, business, familial, love, everybody should be giving 150% all the time. Everybody gives 150% all the time. That's an unconditionally loving relationship. You don't wait for another person to come forward. You come forward. I apologize first. Now I've got tears in my chest. I have apologized. And I'll say it again if you didn't hear me before. I am sorry for anything that I have said or done that hurt you, that confused you, that you misunderstood. And right then, you can't see them, but that is the, can you hear? That's the mockingbird. And the mockingbird says, speak. When the mockingbird speaks, thank you. My confirmation is that I needed to say that. I don't sit here with pride and ego. I own my part, but I'm not going to own your part. I own my part with my daughter. I own part with my dad. I own my part with my twin. I own my part with Troy. I own my part with every person that I have ever done anything inappropriately to. And I apologize for my behavior. And when it's brought to my attention, I have done so with all those people. But I've done my part. And now it's their time to sing. So, this is a message for all of you. This isn't just a message for me. Don't expect that just because you're in the right, that you have to, you know, that just because you're in the right about something and you get something, that there isn't something that you have a part to play in it. Co-creators. Spirit will bring us our food, constantly bring us our food, but we got to pick up our fork and eat it, you know, and we got to choose to do it. You can starve. Lily was literally starving to death, right? She's starving to death. She's literally bones because she won't eat the food. It's too hard for her. So I started to make it easy for her, and I got her this expensive paste. Liger wants it so bad, he'll eat it. He'll eat it. He's all over it. But she won't eat unless I am telling you, I have to put the food in my fingers and put it right up to her mouth to make her eat it. So I thought, finally, this is ridiculous, Lily. I'm not going to do this. I got her the grass that she needed to settle her stomach. Now she's starting to move around. I planted chia seeds in here. There's a lot of greens that she can choose from to eat, if she wants to. She's not going to expire. She has food in front of her if she chooses to eat it. She got to the place where even her soft food she wouldn't eat if I didn't put it up in my fingers and hand it to her. Hand feed her. I'm not doing it anymore. I have fed. I put out messages. Spirit puts out messages for me. Spirit puts out messages for you. They literally come to the place where they hand feed us, for God's sake. How much does Spirit have to do for us before we start doing for ourselves? Before we stop sitting in our lives and saying, I don't like the way my life is going. I don't like the way I'm feeling. I don't like the way I'm looking. Well, guess what? I didn't like the way I was looking with my arms, right? So what did I need to do? I needed to go to the gym. I went to the gym for 2 weeks and my arms were already tight. 2 weeks. I'm wearing shorts today. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm wearing shorts today. I was wearing long shorts before because my legs weren't tight enough. What did I need to do? I needed to do lunges. I hate lunges. They're not comfortable. They're awkward. You know, when you walk along, I got to go down low. It hurts my thighs. It hurts my ass. Why do you think it hurts your thighs and it hurts your ass? Because it's tightening your thighs and it's lifting your ass. Well, maybe that's what you need to do, right? Maybe you need to get involved and do something to make something different. So if you don't like the way your life is going, change it. You can't do anything. No, let me rephrase that. You can't make another person choose you or choose this or choose that. But you can certainly present yourself in a manner in which they see you in a different light or a positive light. You can shift the energy of a situation between people. I have a twist in my tail that I was not expecting. I'm still waiting to see. Rumor has it that you're leaving her for me. But rumor has it, I'm leaving you for him. I'm waiting to see what the twist in my tail is. All I know is all I can do is, and all you can do is learn the lessons when we're ready to learn them, right? You're not going to hear me. You're not going to hear Spirit. I'm not going to hear Spirit. I've been hearing the same messages too for the last 2 years. And I have been learning as I've been going along. But certain things, even though it was so loud, they even took my eyes from me for me to get it. And even when I got my prescription, I knew something wasn't right. And yet, because the doctor said that it was right, I listened. Well, what spiritual guru are you listening to, or religious organization, or father figure, or mother figure, or best friend are you listening to when you know something isn't right, but you still keep doing it because they're telling you it's right? Don't you have a brain of your own? I have my own eyes. I can tell you that when I go to read with my reading glasses, it hurts my eyes. So something's wrong. And if it means that I have to use I said I'm using my cheaters, which are, what did I say, 125, 150s, and my prescriptions are 300? Like, seriously? There's something that's not correct in that. But it was for me to go and argue with the doctor. So I had to argue with the doctor. I mean, I didn't argue with the doctor gave my examination. I argued with the people there that checked the prescription. So the original doctor, I'm going to have to go back to him. I'm going tomorrow. And I'm going to explain to him. So maybe he needs to understand. Maybe he didn't hear me. He looked at my eyes and he said, okay, this she would see really, really good. Now he asked me, they give you some tests. Now remember, we had a message in our weekly reading last week, and it said you're going to be given an examination, a test. I've been given my test. Here's my test. My girlfriend Caitlin and I were having a talk, and I said, wow, it was the day after that I did the weekly reading, and I said, we just were told that we were being given a test. Here's the test. It's right in front of you right now. How are you going to react? Are you going to react? Are you going to go back into old thinking patterns? Or are you going to see what Spirit's showing you? Because they already showed you, just like they showed me who was speaking. They showed me what was true and what was not. I never believed the lie that I was told, but I believed that someone else had done something. I was wrong in that. I didn't see the truth of that. So Spirit is now, in our weekly readings, they give us a foreglimpse about what's coming. Everything they showed us happened in the conversation that I had with my girlfriend Caitlin and I. Everything. I said, and she was upset because when it happens, even though we're forewarned, even though I was shown that what I was being told was going to hurt me and that it wasn't true, it still hurt me. Because in the back of my ego mind, or my insecurity, and the fact that someone else was literally saying this from my twin's email, there was that, well, what if it's true? What if it's true? It crushed my heart, right? But it wasn't true. Now, because my girlfriend Caitlin was upset in the situation, I said, okay, calm down, listen. She gave me 3 dreams. All 3 dreams that she gave me were represented. I told her what they were because I'm doing dream analysis. They were all what Spirit had just shown us. I said, everything they just showed us. And it wasn't just for her, it was for me too. Because her dreams were literally mirrors of mine. That's what happens. Spirit brings us mirrors. And I said, by talking to you, you're helping me also see that this is very, very clear. Because I didn't have that dream that she had. The dream that she had corresponded to a dream that I had. And it was like, oh my God, okay, so here we go. Here's our lesson. Are we going to react, or are we going to see the truth of this situation? So now we've seen the truth of the situation. What are you going to do about it? It's up to you. Right? Are you going to starve to death? Lily is she knows how much I love her. She knows that I will get up 3 times in the middle of the night to feed her with my hands because I don't want her to die, because I want her healthy. My twin knows how much I love him, that I would get up 3 times in the middle of the night to write down my dreams so that I know what's going on, so I know how to connect, so I can work on it, so I can do the things that I need to do to learn the lessons so that we can come together. 3 times in the middle of the night, at least, I wake up to write down these dreams. He knows how much I love him. How much work is he going to do? Because this is not a one-way show. And that's how it is with Spirit, with us. They will say to us again and again, they stand there. We have one of the cards. If I used that deck, I'm sure it would have come out. The deck is the Oracle of the Shapeshifters, and it's called Snow Angel. And the angel stands with her hand on her hip. And that's interesting because that's how I stood as a little girl, and that's how you stand when you're stubborn or you're annoyed. And when I spoke to you, when I swore, I apologize if that hurts your ears to hear that word. But it was meant to shock you. It was meant to shock you. And so maybe what my twin said to me was meant to shock me. It was meant to wake me up. You know, when quiet means no. Quiet means stop. Quiet means leave me alone. Quiet means back off. You got your space, buddy. You got your space. You've got peace and quiet is all yours. You've had it for quite a while and you can keep it. I got the message loud and clear. Spirit doesn't do it to us like that. I didn't take Lily and stuff her face in the food and say, eat this. I got up 3 times in the middle of the night and I fed her with my hands. And I showed her, you can do this, baby, you can do this. With a deer, you don't shove a deer, you don't yell at a deer, you don't smack a deer, you gently prod them along and you show them by example. And so I learned lessons all the way along too, about being aggressive and about being too much and about being too pushy. Lead by example. In my dreams, my twin came to me and said, shine your light and bring me home. Well, how do you shine your light? You don't shine your light by putting a big, blaring flare gun in somebody's face. You shine your light. So it's easy to follow, right? I shine my light by living in my spiritual higher self, by doing my work. Not by preaching at him, by just doing my work. Just stay on your path. So what you need to do, what we all need to do is just stay on our path. Whatever is meant to be in your life, as long as you stay on your path and you continue to work on the lessons that Spirit brings to us as far as the guidance, we work on ourselves. We don't work on someone else. It wasn't my place to give him all of those dreams. I thought I was helping him. Don't worry about helping him, Sherry. You worry about helping yourself. He's got his own angels. He's got his own guides. Everybody does. You come to me for advice. You come to me and ask me. I don't give advice from myself anymore. I haven't for a long time. My best friend came to me the other day really upset. And I said, do you want me just to listen to you? Because I can just listen. But if you want my advice, I don't give advice from myself. I said, I know that, a lot of times people will, I said, I ask Spirit and I give advice that way. I don't give it from me because it isn't for me to speak for your life. And if you come to me as a counselor or a best friend, this is my job. I am a seer. I do get very, very clear messages. And if you come to me for a reading, believe me, your reading is dead on. They always are. My readings are dead on. I have never a doubt about that. They've always been. And I get stronger and stronger and closer the more I trust in Spirit and the more I rely on them. But I said, I know that when I go to say, when people come to me and they say things to me and I say, well, Spirit says, I've gotten yelled at from people. I don't want to hear what Spirit has to say. Just like that woman who wanted to know about love. She wanted to know, is he going to come back? And I said, well, Spirit, I don't want to know what Spirit has to say. Well, then don't call me. Don't come to me. It says right on my, I changed. That was another thing. I changed my profile on my Keen Psychic Hotline website. It says spiritual teacher, a counselor. It doesn't say what it said before. I can't remember. It used to say love and relationships. I can't remember. Now it says exactly what I am. A shaman, a teacher, spiritual counselor, channel. That's what it says. Because that's what I am. That's what I do. It doesn't come from me. So I said to her, do you want me just to listen to you? Or because I can't just give you my personal opinion. I love you. And because I love you, my emotions get involved. And because I know who you're married to and I have a history with this person as well, my emotions will get involved. And that's not right. I can't allow that to happen. It needs to be unbiased. And so I always say, correct for neutrality. My mom taught me this. Correct for neutrality on all levels. So I'm asking for my higher self and Spirit, for the Father, to correct me, to bring me to a place of neutrality. Correct for neutrality. Why was it correct for neutrality? On all levels, so that what comes from me is not my message, not my personal message. It is not influenced by my personal opinions with my relationship to that person or the past or my own past. It comes from Spirit. So she said, no, I understand. And so I asked. And of course, what Spirit gave was dead on. And then it was confirmed. I literally got off the phone with her, and 2 songs back to back came on. And I said, you need to listen to these songs. And I said, and if you could get him to listen to these songs, and I said, and if you would listen to the weekly reading, I said, this is what it's about. That was just an example for me that in 2 examples, my best friend and my friend Caitlin both came to me showing me mirrors of exactly what Spirit had just already given us the answers to. We are given the answers ahead of time. We just have to see it and we have to hear it. And sometimes when we don't see it and we don't hear it, then people like me, and it probably happens to you as well, will be counseled to hit it hard. Hit it hard. They're not hearing. They're not hearing. Sometimes you got to rock the boat. Remember yesterday when I was in the water, I said something. Was it yesterday, the weekly reading? I don't know what day it is. It was the weekly reading. And I said something, and I said, well, and I said, oh, here I am rocking the boat. That's what I do. Sometimes I have to rock the boat because Spirit tells me to, not because I'm doing it, not because I'm being controlling, a bitchy controlling girlfriend or twin flame or sister or friend or mother. If I'm told to do something by Spirit, I do it. But I'm sure before I do it that it's coming from the highest self, that it's coming from a place of love, that it's not coming from a place of I told you so or vindictiveness or jealousy or insecurity or fear. It's coming from a place of love. And before I speak, when I get these messages, I ask again and again. And I am not working right now. I should be working. I have bills to pay too. And I said, okay, I'm going to make the, I had my headset on and I was open on my line. And I said, if I meant to go out and do this, because I kept getting messages, the songs kept coming, and then I walked by and I saw this, that still needs to be colored in. The owl, the seer. Who is the seer that's not colored in the story of his life or her life? You color in this story of your own life. We create our own lives. So I saw that again, and I said, if I am meant to do this now, the phone won't ring. If I am meant to do, not to send this out, and this is just a message for myself, because see, that's what I did wrong before. I would get messages, and I would share them with my twin because they were of his life. But he mirrors my life, so maybe they were about my life too, and maybe it was not something he was ready to hear at that time. Maybe, and it wasn't. It was something that he had to live into. It was very overwhelming. So maybe this was just a message for me this morning. Was I not supposed to share this? Nope, I was definitely meant to share it, so I did. So there we are. That's a long one, and it's deep. And I've said before to you guys that I find that often everyone gets hung up on the weekly reading. You know, they like the weekly reading, and the messages are great, or you like a personal reading. But these readings that when I get, because the weekly reading is planned, I know that it has to go out every Sunday. So no matter what's going in my life, I take the time and I do the reading then. So Spirit's going to bring me the messages that we need to see, right? But when I get these during the middle of the week, that are emphasis and explanation and clarification, these are the ones that are valuable. The other ones are valuable too, but these are very valuable. So it's a bummer for me that people don't recognize, and these aren't as watched as much. They should be. And I would recommend going back. And it's easy for you to do. You could be doing your own work and listening. You don't have to be watching me. You can be doing your own work, and cleaning your house, doing your books, whatever you're doing, and listening, because it isn't me talking. I'm not doing this because I want to be a movie star. Somebody said that to me. One of my roommates said that to me a year ago. I'm going to do that. I'm going to figure out something that I can do on YouTube so I can be a YouTube star like you. And I thought, what? You got to be freaking kidding me. Do you think this is easy for me to do? Do you think that I don't do this? I'm not paid for this, first of all. None of these readings I'm paid for. None of the time that it takes am I paid to do this. I do this because this is my path. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is my way of giving. This is giving. This isn't about me being a movie star. I sit with no makeup on in front of people. I sit with a black eye. You know? I cry. I bare my soul. And a lot of times that's what is required of us. Sometimes we have to be put in an uncomfortable position. Sometimes we have to be put in a position that isn't flattering. Sometimes our flaws have to be exposed in order to help other people, because it's not all about you, Sherry. There's a lot of people that are going through this, a lot of people that don't understand, a lot of people that haven't been through all the things that you have been through. And I pray that you don't have to go through the things that I've been through. I don't want you to go through all the things that I've been through. I understand that the things that I've gone through in my life are because of the work that I do, that it was preparing me. It was also preparing me for my twin soul relationship. Do you realize that everything that you go through in your life is to prepare you for what you have asked for? Spirit came to me, my guides came to me, my mother, and said, you don't have to choose this one. You can choose another. You can rewrite your soul contract. We can do that. And I said, no, I promised. I made a vow. And you know how I'm loyal. I made a vow that I would stand by him, that I was his best friend and I wouldn't leave him.
and I will do whatever I need to do. And as far as my path goes, many people have said, you don't have to do this. You know, this is hard on you. It's breaking your body down. And my body was breaking down. But why was my body breaking down? Because of the gifts that Spirit gave me, because of the work that they offered for me to do. This is a blessing to me. I was gifted with this. God could use the rocks to cry out. He doesn't need me to do it. I was given the opportunity to be a channel. I am honored to do this. It was me that needed to learn. It was me that needed to learn to put up boundaries and say, no more, you're crossing my boundaries. Or stop giving so much of my time. Or I needed to learn how to eat properly. I needed to learn that I needed to physically exercise to make myself stronger, that would make my mind stronger. I needed to stop working. When Spirit says stop working, when Spirit slows my work down, there's a reason they're slowing my work down. When they said, you need to take a retreat, Sherry, you need to go away. And I was panicking about my physical material needs, about money. Why would I panic if Spirit's telling me to do that? I know I'm taken care of. I've been down to 0, 0, 0 so many times, and Spirit has literally bailed me out when I listen to them. When I listen. So be careful of who it is that you're listening to. Be careful of who's been there for you. Who is loyally always proven themselves to you. Who has been at your side. Who has been your best friend, Sherry? My best friend has been my father, mother. My best friend has been that. I have not had anyone in my life, no one has had my back. No man has had my back in my life, except for my Father that created me. No woman has had my back in my life. No woman, except for my Mother Goddess that created me. And I can say that with all sincerity, 100%. And I will tell you, I have had the back of the ones in my life, but they haven't had mine. So, my allegiance goes not to my twin soul. My allegiance goes to my father, mother, and my path. And I will stay on my path no matter what my twin does. If he doesn't do what he's meant to do in this life, I will move forward on my spiritual path. And my mother, father will bring me a soulmate that will complement me and fill my heart with love. And that's the way it should be for all of us. I had no idea that this was going to get so tense. I had no idea that this was going to get so deep. But I'm looking right now at thunderclouds. There's a total blue sky, and there's big clouds over there in the distance. Major shifts happening right now. We all knew this was coming. We've got the eclipse season coming, and things are going to be turned upside down. Things are already turned upside down. The energy is intense. So many things coming out of the woodwork, things that we didn't realize before, past life stuff, chapters ending, closings, revelations, scandals, truths being told. And it's all a good clearing. It's all good, even though, you know, and like we said in the twist in the tail, and as well as in the weekly reading, when this happens, it may not feel good. It may hurt when it happens, but it has to happen. It's all about evolving and growing. And I got to tell you, I wanted to be with my twin soul 3 years ago, and I wanted to stay with him when we were together. But I love the person I am now, and I'm not happy with the person I was then. She wasn't ready for a great love in her life. She's ready for a great love in her life now, and I feel proud of myself for what I've learned. And I was in a lot of pain as I went through a lot of this, and a lot of time. I've been very, 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 very lonely. And you guys see me traveling around and going all over the place. I go alone, and I'm alone, and I don't have friends here. And I'm not saying that to wow. You know, I just don't. And it was necessary, because the owl that I showed you in the post this morning, walking, the owl is the hermit. And that's what you need to be. Sometimes you need to go in and be alone, and before you get it. My twin needed to be alone and figure it out. I needed to be alone. I wanted to be with him. All of the people that write to me, they want to be with the person they're with. I don't want to hear what Spirit has to say. I want to know, when is he coming back? Well, if you don't want to hear what Spirit has to say, he's never gonna come back, because you're never gonna figure it out. So that's that. So I have no idea what everybody has said. It's lashing, the storm. Yeah. Everyone's just been listening. That's good. I've been listening too. And I am sweating bullets. I've got sweat just pouring down me. It's really hot out here. I'm going to show you something too. I went to the dollar store, and Spirit gave me a few messages. And I bought a couple of things for my daughter. I bought a couple of things for myself.
And, you know, the dragonfly always comes to me. And so I'm asked, I bought this, and the welcome friends. So my friends are my animal totems, and I welcome them because the dragonfly helps me see past the illusion. How many times has Spirit given me the same message? Look at the dragonfly lights. How many times does the dragonfly come to us in the weekly readings? See past the illusion. See past the deception. Is the illusion your own? Is the illusion that, whatever it is, I've given you a million different things for you guys to look at, right? See past the illusion. I came outside this morning. Lily was on the Chase Lounge. Lily, who's going to eat her own food from now on. I won't be getting up and feeding her. If she wants to eat, she'll have to eat it. Otherwise, she's going to die. And I don't think Spirit's going to allow that to happen. So I think Lily's going to have to learn how to eat by herself. Cleopatra has to get off of her Chase Lounge, and she's got to eat just like everyone else. I checked her teeth. They're fine. Her teeth, she has nothing wrong with her teeth. She was a messenger. I'm sure she will start eating. I did need to make it softer for her. I needed to, because she is a mirror. I gave her, like I said, I gave her the greens that will help her regurgitate if anything gets too tough on her. I got her softer food. She can lick it. She doesn't have to chew it. So I don't have to sit there in the middle of the night. I did it this morning again. Sat there and I put it right up to her face and let her lick it. Liger jumped up on the chair and was like devouring it. He's just like, I'm all over it, you know. Liger represents me. I'll take it. I'll eat it. Dude, you know, that's why Liger's so fat. He'll take all the food in, you know. So if he can do it, she can do it. So I come out here and Lily's lying here and I looked at my flowers because gardening has a lot to do with everything. As I came out, I saw the coyote, which is the trickster. Think about the coyote. The coyote has the crown in his mouth. Is it the crown of the queen? Is it the crown of the king? Is it the empress, the emperor? He's got it in his mouth. But the coyote is the trickster. The coyote is the one who has possibly told false stories to himself, to others. The coyote is the trickster. The coyote says, look at your past foibles and your mistakes and your lessons and laugh at them. Learn from them and move forward. But you've got the crown in your mouth. You're calling for it. You're calling for it. But it's in your mouth. Isn't that funny? Do you know how long I've had that little crown sitting in that coyote's mouth and I have no idea why I put it there until just now? So then I come out and I look at these plants. Peace. Peace resides within us. We can live in peace even if there's chaos around it. We have the ability. We can use the crystals, amethyst. We can use our intentions, whatever we need to use to bring peace into our life. We can live in peace right now. We don't have to be a prickly cactus. So I come outside and I look at my petunias and this was all flopped over. Like literally flopped over because it got really hot yesterday, which is emotion, remember? It gets hot and it was just wilted. I gave it water just a second before I started to do this reading with you guys and it's already popped up. Boom. So when Spirit brings us healing waters, it revives us that quickly. Remember how I said in the weekly reading how my grandson was so terrified to go into the deeper water? He didn't want to go in deeper because he got tumbled before in the deeper water. Well, like with my twin, he got tumbled in the deep water when he went out. And he retreated. He didn't want to do it. I don't want to get tumbled again. Well, things have changed. I'm not the same person. You're not the same person. Things have changed. Maybe I'm not the person who tumbled you. Maybe it was someone else. But that fear has prevented you from moving forward with me. Whatever it was, Trey didn't want to go out deeper in the water. Trey represents my twin. And so I had to talk him into it. He had to watch me. I said, Trey, I promise, I'm telling you the truth. Don't lie. You know, he knows he can trust me, but he's scared. And even though you may trust somebody and you're scared, even though we trust Spirit, but we're scared, our ego gets in the way, we have to go past our fear. We have to face our fear. It took me all that time to talk him into coming out deeper because every time where he stayed where he was at, he kept getting pummeled in the waves, pummeled in the emotional waters. Bam, it'd smack him in the head and he'd go under. And he says, I can't go under, but he was going under. He was going under every single time the wave hit him. I said, plug your nose and go under intentionally and bypass the wave. I can't, because he couldn't swim. Yes, you can swim. It was his own fear that was locking him up. So he couldn't do that. So then I said, okay, if you're not going to go under, intentionally, go down into your emotional waters, people, and figure out what is my fear? What is holding me back? If you won't intentionally go down under your emotional waters to figure it out for yourself, then at least trust in Spirit to go a little bit deeper and look into things a little bit deeper. I don't do this on my own. I follow the example of others. This is why we do this. So preaching, a preacher that stands on the pulpit and screams and yells and doesn't do it themselves, no one's going to follow that preacher. Some might, but they're not going to get very good results. But the person who practices what they preach, like Jesus when he gave them the fish, okay, just like me and Lily gave her the food. But if I teach you how to fish, you'll have fish forever. Lily, you know how to eat. I've brought it to you. Look, now we've got soft food. You can do this on your own. Here it is. There it is right now. If you choose to not do it, I guess you're going to starve to death. So Trey, finally, he watched me. I said, dude, you've been smacked in the head several times. I don't get smacked. I'm getting lifted by the wave. I'm not allowing my emotional waves to hurt me anymore. I'm allowing them to lift me. So then he came out. It took him, and what did I say to you guys? It took him from the time that he trusted me, it took him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. 5 minutes to go from a terrified student to a teacher. He went right in and brought his mom out and showed her how to do it. So in our lives, we can go from being in a place of total paralysis, of not knowing of why we are where we're at and not being where we want to be, to literally grasping it, understanding the truth of the situation, laughing at our foibles. I'm not beating myself up for the stuff that I did. I'm not saying, oh my God, I can't believe that I said that. I can't believe I did that. Well, I could have done this. No, you couldn't have, because you weren't ready. So now I am ready. So I can look back and go, wow. Now I see what I did. Now I can see how I could have done this differently, and I will do it differently in the future. And so now I went from being a terrified student to being a teacher. Boom, boom, boom. And so did Trey in 5 minutes. And so can all of us. Our life can change on the drop of a pin, on a turn of a dime. And we get that message all the time. That things may look very bleak. Things may be very dark to you. You don't see all the light coming behind you. And things can change overnight just like that. It all depends on you. Okay, I'm going to stop because I could go on for hours. All right, so I will, since you guys are all here and I know that you all want a private reading, I'm going to use the relationship cards. And I don't know how many people are there, but I will offer 7. And no more. Absolutely no more, not even one for the group. So 7 people, and that's it. So if anybody would like a reading, I'm happy to share a message from Spirit with you. 7 people. You have to say yes, please. And if you don't, that's fine too. I'll go to work because I could use some money myself. Okay, yours flew out, Jody, which is interesting. Jody's my best friend. I always say that, but that's a message in it for me. That's why I say it out loud. I do want to say to you guys, money is energy, right? But we need money in this world right now, anyway, to live. Unfortunately, we're not living in a barter system, which would be really awesome. And I believe the world will go that way. I really do. But I do still need to earn a living. So I'm going to say to you guys, I'm not asking for anything from you today. But I do have a donation button on my website. And if you ever feel moved to donate anything, for all of the time that I spend, I would be appreciative. Spirit has asked me to ask for that because I do have to ask for my worth. And I know that this is valuable. So I'm just putting that out there. Okay, so Jody. Okay, we've got Jody. Oops, hold on. Okay, so it's got Sabrina's first. Sabrina, how interesting. You know what's really interesting about that? Sabrina was my best friend in Canada who was like my little sister, and Jody was my best friend who was like my little sister in California growing up in high school. That's a trip. And then Sandy. There are 8 of you. Oh, well, it's the first 7 that get it. Sorry, that's what I have to say. So, this is Sabrina's message, Fearlessness. And look at her underneath a blanket. Now, this has a lot to do with what we just spoke about, right? Fear is simply a decision that you make to think fearful thoughts. So we get to choose every day. Every day we get to wake up in the morning, we get a new choice. We can choose to be miserable. We can choose to stay stuck. We can choose to not eat the food Spirit gives us. We can choose to be stuck in fear and not go into our emotional waters, or we can choose something differently. So if you're stuck in fear right now, you're being challenged to reach out for a thought that feels better. My daughter keeps calling, sorry. And my daughter, she's hysterical. I'm always available, see? I'm always available to my family and to the ones I love. And so if I don't answer, they keep calling and calling and calling. They're not satisfied to leave a message. They will just keep calling. It's hysterical. Because everybody knows that about me. So maybe I have to be not so available, is my message. So basically they're saying you have control of what you think. So whatever it is that you're feeling, look at the dot in her right above her third eye. Tap into your higher self. What is it that you're thinking that's a negative thought that's making, now she's sending me a message. Hey, why are you not answering me? not thinking that, guess what, I have a life too. So don't allow fear to stop you from moving forward. She wants to come to the lake. Ugh. Oh, she's gonna have to wait. Okay. That's your message. Hi, Christina. Sandy, are you being my secretary again? Christina, I gotta do this quick. Oh my God, my Uncle Phil, are you there, Uncle Phil? You know, I so want him to watch this whole, and I know he's such a busy man. You guys haven't met my Uncle Phil. You might have seen his picture. He is, God, I love him so much. He is, do you know what I call him, my Uncle Phil? But he's like my big brother, because he's not that much older than me. I love him. I hope he's there. God, I'd love to give him a reading from Spirit. Okay, you guys, who's next? There's too much talking in between. I'm trying to figure it out. Jody, acceptance. You're a beautiful work in progress. Look at her, she looks like Wonder Woman. Always moving forward, always becoming better, just like we were talking about, right? Where you are right now is exactly where you're meant to be. So there's no stress. Wave your little magic wand. Make a wish on the stars. Let it go. When you make a wish, don't think about it after you make it. Just let it go and let Spirit carry you. Just love who you are. Don't beat yourself up. Laugh at your foibles, just like the trickster does, the coyote, and recognize that you have all the gifts and all the power that I have, and that the highest spiritual person in your life that you're looking up to has. This person said to me this morning, would you please pray for me to help me find my soulmate, help me do all these things? And I kept saying, I'm just a person like you. No, you're not. Yes, I am. We are all very powerful spirit creatures, but we are all inhabiting these human bodies. I stumble, I make mistakes, I have fear, I cry, just like you. But yes, there's power when we pray for another. And so I will pray that everything happens in your highest good. But you can do that too. So you are, when I got mad, I shouldn't even have said that, because it wasn't even about being mad. Because I was kind of getting mad at myself. But I shouldn't do that. So I'm going to take that back. Cancel, clear, delete. When I got firm and I swore. And I said, wait the fuck up. That was just to shake. That was just a shock, right? It wasn't anger. It's actually, and I was shown something in a movie last night. Often we don't even realize ourselves that when you speak so firmly to someone, and when you speak to your child so firmly, and then later you go and you get upset because you yelled at them. When you care that much to allow it to upset you, you're not saying it because you're angry at them. You love them. They matter to you. Don't push away who matters to you. And don't beat yourself up because you have passion and you care. You are a work in progress. This is what my twin said to me. I'm a work in progress. We all are. How many times does she have to call before she gets that I'm not going to answer her? That's a message. That's like, you need to come to me. Okay, next message. Sabrina, Jody, Sandy. Sandy's next. I'm trying to figure out how I can call my daughter into the lake without coming off here, without losing you guys. I don't think I can, so she's just going to have to panic. Wow. Okay, Sandy, union. You're brought together by the belief that in a partnership you can be better, stronger, kinder, and more generous than you can be on your own. This is a sacred marriage. Love. Love reveals its true nature. Now you're married. So this is a reunification of your marriage. This also is a reunification between you and your higher self and spirit. But that's like I said, my allegiance first is to my father, mother, which means my spiritual higher self to my creator, right? And then to my partner. So even in a relationship, even in a marriage, you must stay on your path first. And that must be your priority first. And if it takes you away from your path, you must remain loyal to your higher self and spirit first. So I'm going to leave it at that. I think it's pretty clear. The next person is who? That was 3. Christina would like one. Okay, Christina. You're welcome. And you know, people do things, you know, people are so hard on themselves. I'm hard on myself. I know my twin's really hard on himself. You know, it has a lot to do with childhood stuff and past issues and unworthiness. And you really truly can't love another person until you love yourself and forgive yourself. You know, you can't. You have to forgive yourself of everything, of everything that you feel that you've let someone down, when you've let yourself down, because you haven't. It's all about lessons. I'm not mad at my twin, you know. I'm not mad at myself. I'm not mad at anyone. I'm not mad at the person who interfered. I'm not mad at anyone. We all have a part to play. He had a part to play. I do. We all could have done something to change the circumstances, right? And we can at this point. So forgive yourself and forgive others. And don't expect others to forgive you if you can't forgive yourself, and don't expect others to forgive you if you can't forgive them. Okay. Christina. Passion. When experienced with a trusted partner, now trust, that's the thing. Intimacy is a deep spiritual journey of the soul, revealing your vulnerability. My twin used to say, I'm naked, I'm open. Your greatest desires and the contents of your heart. So in order to experience this great, beautiful, blissful passion, you must allow yourself to be vulnerable and open and exposed and naked. You must allow your demons to come out. You must allow your fears to come out. You must share that. You can't have a trusting, true relationship with someone if you can't allow them to see your demons, if you can't allow them to see your weaknesses. There is no ego in love. So this passion can be yours. And maybe this passion is there. And also, a passion could be an interest that you have. So I'm getting another message in this, that when we stay on our path, and I know what, Christina, what your passion is. When you stay on your path, I mean, one of your passions, I know you've got many, on your spiritual passion, and you stick with that, you will draw to you ones who complement you, because they will be into the same things as you are. So if you're looking to manifest this kind of a relationship, you need to stick with your path and be in areas and continue to work on your passion. And as my twin and I at one time were drawn together vibrationally, you will have that drawn to you vibrationally. That's why we don't have to sweat it. That's why it doesn't have to be so difficult. That's why they always show, remember that post I kept talking about the guy who had the hedge? My twin and I came to the hedge and he was stuck in it and we were trying to figure out how to get through. I hadn't figured out how to get through either. He was stuck in it and he was terrified, but I still hadn't figured out how to get through it. So this year they show me a picture of a guy, has this big tall hedge, and he has a ride-on lawnmower, and he puts his lawnmower on the shovel of the ride-on lawnmower, and he just starts going back and forth, and he uses it. So he used all the tools at his disposal in order to do the job that was too difficult, and it was very easy on him. So it doesn't have to be hard. That's all it is. It doesn't have to be hard. It can be very simple. The next person is, oh, I love this song, I'm the One. Don't let the only real one intimidate you. I'm the one, don't you know? I love this song. I'm the one, yeah. I like Justin Bieber, you know, that's a trip. I used to laugh that the guy's got great songs, and the lyrics and the messages from Spirit are just dead on. Freaking love music. Okay, where are we at? Hey, Janice. You're welcome. Okay, so I just did Christina. So, Janice. Oops, sorry. Oh, Sharon's next? Okay, I'll do Sharon and then Janice. How many have I done, please? Sharon. Renewal. Wow, these messages are all coming together. Love is coming around again. Whether it's an existing relationship rekindled, a past love returned, or a heightened sense of self-renewal, love refreshes your spirit with a promise of new beginnings. So, I've been getting this for quite a long time, and I believe it's a combination of all of the above. Because it's definitely a renewal of self. Because as I said, you can't love another until you're able to love yourself, right? So a renewal of self comes first. then possibly, if you're in a relationship, a renewal within your marriage or partnership is possible, because you've now reinvented yourself and you're able to be a better partner. You're able to share and learn and be open, and which makes your love much deeper. Or there is a past love being rekindled, and someone coming back from the past. I know that there is someone coming back from my past. I know that. I have no doubt in my mind. Who it is remains to be seen. So here is you. That's pretty exciting. Renewal. And this goes with all of the other messages. Look at the guy. You know what's interesting to me is they've both been thinking about each other. They both have been in the same spot, thinking only about each other, but now it's time. And effort is required. So what effort is required on your part in order for this to happen? You need to ask yourself that. That's your message. So this is for Janice. Hi, Kimmy. Hi, Kimmy. If you want a reading, you have to ask. I don't know who I'm doing this for. I can't remember. I think I just did that for... I did that for Janice. Oh, no, this is for Sharon. Sorry. Sharon. So, Kimmy, if you want one, you have to say it quick, because I've only got one person left. This is for you. Sharon, your worries, it's about doubt. Your worries are simply red flags asking and alerting you that your thoughts have fallen out of alignment with what you truly want. Shift your focus now to the best possible solution. So don't get hung up on the messages that you got in this whole discussion here. Don't think that you've lost something. What do you need to do to alter the situation? What do you need to do to bring it to you? Bring what it is that you want to fruition, or what is it that's in your way right now that's causing you fear? Doubt gets in the way. Doubt, ego, fear, mess. Throw it away. What do you need to do to and when doubt shows up like that and you start feeling uncomfortable, it's a message that Spirit's showing you, I need to work on something. What do I need to look at? There's something I need to look at. I'm doing Janice right now. I just did Sharon. Okay. Well, you know who I'm doing. So that's all you have to do. Shift your focus. Shift your focus and ask Spirit, okay, what am I not seeing? I don't feel good right now. This hurts my feelings. This hurts my stomach. I'm starting to cry right now. I feel sick to my stomach. I feel nauseous. My head's hurting. I feel fear right now. What is it? Why do I feel this way? What do I have to do? Go down deeper into your emotional waters. Go out farther. Go farther into it, because only by going farther into it are you going to be able to go out past the ripped current and come back to where you're calm again. So that's your message. Doubt is for Janice. So the other one was for Sharon. Okay, so Kimberly, are you still there? If not, whoever's next gets the last message. I need to hear, yes, please. And I got to go call my daughter in because she's having a complete... That was her again. Speak of the devil. Oh, my God. 7 is open? All right. This message is a message for my Uncle Phil and for my friend Kimmy. It's for both of them, and then I'm closing. And then I'll send this to both of them afterwards. Kimmy gets cut off sometimes, and Uncle Phil's working, I know. Support. Seek out a safe environment with loving hearts, loving friends to nourish your soul. The rich exchange of encouragement, laughter, and understanding are the greatest gifts we give one another. So it's nice because my daughter and her husband are on their way out here right now. And I'm going to go play in the water. So safe is the word that we pick up on. Safe. Safe is where you feel good. Remember when I was when I was doing the weekly reading and I went to go on shore where I thought it would be safer because the boat was rocking in the emotional waters. But when I sat on the shore, I got bit by the army ants. Well, in the reading that I posted, I really want you guys to go back and listen to the reading that I shared today. And also the owl message, the coward message. In that, at the exact same thing, the same thing happened. I got bit by an army ant. The army ant may be your ego, it may be someone, it may be a situation. Whatever it is, it may be doubt, it may be fear. Whatever it is that's biting you is making you not feel good. Wherever you're not feeling good, you're not being supported in the best of ways. You may be hanging out with people that are you consider your best friends, people you've grown up with, your family. If it's making you feel uncomfortable, if it's hurting, if it's biting you, it's not the best place for you. My friend said that she was getting calls from her mother, guilt calls, you know, you need to be here with your sister, blah, 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 blah. And she was overwhelmed. She'd just gotten back from being out of the country, and she had work to do, and she was very emotional herself, still processing a lot of things that she had learned while she was away, because going away for her isn't just about holiday. That's how she processes. It's how she gets her messages. Like me, when I go on a retreat, it's not just about relaxation. That's when I get a lot of my downloads. Almost all my downloads come that way. And so she needed to process. Sorry, I've got a hair that's in my eye. Guilt. And I said, you know, just because it's your family doesn't give them the right to make you feel guilty. You are doing what you need to do for your life. And when your body is telling you, look, I'm breaking down right now. I need some space. I need to process. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. Whether my twin needed to process away from me, that was what he needed to do. He's not wrong for doing that. Whether my daughter is desperately trying to get here, but I'm doing a reading. This is important for me. This is my path. This is for you guys. This is important. So she needs to wait. So it isn't all about everybody else. When it feels your support comes from what is in your highest good. Your support group makes you feel good. Your support, and it's not in a selfish way. It's in a positive way. Now, don't be ego. We're talking spirit. So go and seek out a safe environment. I got up off the shore. I moved my ass out of the red army ants that were biting me, right? I moved. I wasn't comfortable, I moved. Lily started getting hot, she moved. You're in hot water, things aren't going tight, back up, give it a little space. Go where it's safe. Seek out an environment. It's on you to seek this out. It isn't going to come to you. Seek out the environment that's safe, an environment that supports you. Maybe it means you need to take some time and go spend some time with friends. Maybe that's what they're telling you. Stop working. Go seek out this, maybe, or go talk to somebody else. Maybe you need to get outside of your own head. Maybe your own ego mind is too loud right now and you need someone else to hear you. What else? Your family doesn't always have to be your physical family. Sometimes that is not your family. Sometimes they're not your friends. Unfortunately, just because you're born into a family doesn't mean they're going to be your friends. Doesn't mean you would have chosen them to be your friends in the world. A lot of times, family members would be the last person I would choose to be my friend. They are our biggest teachers because we are in a situation where we're stuck and we have to learn how to work through it. So that's definitely a learning place. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a place you're going to hang out. Think about that. So those are your messages, you guys. I think these were hugely powerful. I know they were, and I know that the message that we got, the things that I came out here for, I mean, I was on fire, man, and there was a lot of emotion. So I'm going to download this, and I'm going to put this up on YouTube, and I'm going to add some things to it. When I hear it back, I'll know what I'm supposed to add. Do read the comments, you guys. I always post stuff inside in the comments that has very, very valuable information. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Love you guys. There she is again. She's flipping out right now. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to put my daughter at rest. She's having a heart attack, so she wants to come. Her husband has 2 days off and she wants to play. So I'll speak to you guys later. Love you. Bye.